Hello everyone, welcome. This is Sunday Politics live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimbale in Abuja. But the conduct of the Presidential National Assembly election is still generating controversies. And as the dust of that was yet to settle, INEC postponed the governorship and House of Assembly elections. Some of the lapses experienced by INEC has gotten a lot of Nigerians agitated, and some political parties are not having it. Last week, INEC leadership met with resident electoral commission and top officials of the commission across the country, and strong warnings were sent out. I'd like you to listen to what INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, said, and warning the erring staff.
Political party. As we approach the governorship and state assembly elections, we must work harder to overcome the challenges experienced in the last election. Nothing else will be acceptable to Nigerians. All staff found to be negligent, whether they are regular or ad hoc officials, including collation and returning officers, must not be involved in the forthcoming elections. RECs must also immediately initiate disciplinary action where prima facie evidence of wrongdoing has been established against any staff involved in the election, whether regular or ad hoc.
But the commission then promised that it will correct the lapses of the first cycle of election.
On election day technology, the bimodal voter accreditation system, the BVAS, will once again be deployed for voter accreditation and result management. The deployment of BVAS has gone a long way to sanitize voter accreditation, as can be seen from the results of recent elections. Since last week, the Commission has intensified the review of the technology to ensure that glitches experienced, particularly with the upload of results, are rectified. We are confident that going forward, the system will run optimally.
But those promises made by INEC at that meeting are falling on deaf ears of angry political parties, some of them who have now taken to the streets in protest at different times. Well, the Labour Party national chairman came out to say his party has no confidence in INEC.
If they knew they were going to postpone the governorship election for a week, why did they go to court to go and vary the order? There was absolutely no need for it, because one of the reasons they gave to the court was that if they allow us to inspect beavers, it will definitely affect the timelines for the election. But surprisingly, after getting the courts to grant them that request to configure the beavers, you saw that they immediately shifted the election. So one has a lot of doubts about the truthfulness, about the patriotism, about the character, about the behavior, about the integrity of INEC.
That is the Labour Party on one hand. The People's Democratic Party took a step further, asking for INEC chairman's removal.
The PDP demands that the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, immediately step down from office, having abused the confidence and dashed the hope of millions of Nigerians, as well as political parties and the international community, for a free, fair, and credible election. Furthermore, the PDP demands that the Inspector General of Police and the Director General of the Directorate of State Services, DSS, immediately commence investigation into the electoral violations and manipulations by INEC with the view to prosecuting Professor Mahmoud Yakubu and other officials of the Commission for electoral offenses.
In the midst of all of this, INEC in its conduct of its activities need a lot of integrity and trust from the citizen. But perhaps that is one thing that is now in short supply for the electoral umpire. And the integrity the commission has built over the past election cycle is gradually wearing off, at least based on what the political parties and some citizens who are reacting to these elections have expressed. But conducting elections need a great deal of integrity quota to enable citizens' participation and the smooth running of the process. Let's get a sense of what exactly is going on. And perhaps there might be some explanation from the side of INEC that we yet do not know. Let's speak with the INEC National Commissioner on Voter Education and Publicity, Mr. Festus Okoye, who joins us virtually. Thank you so much, Mr. Okoye, for joining us tonight. There's been a lot of reactions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much indeed. There's been a lot of reactions from Nigerians, and I'm sure there is just a little coming from INEC as explanation on what really happened. Tonight, can you tell Nigerians what really went wrong?
I think it is too early to engage in a postmortem of an electoral process that has not been concluded. We have only organized the presidential and national assembly election, and we still have the governorship and state assembly election outstanding. So I think it's too early to engage in a postmortem of the election. But what the commission has done is to begin preparations in earnest for the state election, which is the governorship and state assembly election. There were a few challenges relating to the conduct of the first leg of election, that is the national election. We have done some soul searching, we have done a little bit of evaluation, and we have also learned some valuable lessons from the conduct of the presidential and national assembly election. And some of those lessons have been imputed into our preparations for the governorship and state assembly election. So I believe that despite everything that has happened, despite the challenges the commission had during the conduct of the presidential and national assembly election, at the fullness of time, I believe that the history will be kind to this particular commission in terms of the outcome of the presidential and national assembly election.
So what you said, you have done some soul searching. I mean, you can't do soul searching if nothing went wrong. So what would you say went wrong specifically now in the area of upload of results to the IRF portal? Because that was one major thing that caused some kind of outrage from political parties and some voters.
The commission issued a statement relating to the inability of the presiding officers to upload the presidential election results. And the commission made it very clear that there were some technical glitches relating to the upload. My own knowledge of technology is very, very limited, but those who have the knowledge have made their own explanations to the commission and have also assured the commission that those glitches have been rectified and that the commission is ready for the conduct of the governorship and state assembly election.
Some of these were non-fluid disclosure of what really happened has led to a lot of speculations. People are now saying what they think could happen. Is it as a result, the breakdown in the performance of the IRF portal or the upload of results, was it as a result of a hack onto your system, or this was as a result of a failure of the pathway, technical pathway of the server or the portal, or is it as a result of internal manipulation? What is exactly is it? Because we've brought technical people, IT experts, to Channels Television to analyze for us what could go wrong, to give INEC the benefit of the doubt. But now that you have opportunity of speaking to millions of Nigerians, because you need that trust and integrity quota to go into the next election, what was it really, technically speaking?
I think that there has been some misinformation and disinformation relating to what the BVAS does in terms of the electoral process. Now, the Commission designed the BVAS in such a way that it will perform 3 functions. The first function the BVAS performs is the function of voter enrollment. So when we are registering voters, we call it the IBED, that is the INEC voter enrollment device, and we use it for purposes of voter enrollment. When we are carrying out election in terms of voter accreditation, we use it for purposes of voter accreditation. In other words, it has the capacity to read the fingerprints of individuals and also read their facials. So for purposes of voter verification and authentication, we use it for that particular purpose. After the elections, we also use it for purposes of uploading of polling unit level results and the accreditation data to our INEC result being a portal. So this is the path that had slight challenges during the election. The BVAS is not an electronic voting machine. So the only thing the BVAS does is to transmit accreditation data relating to the number of persons accredited at a particular polling unit to the INEC result being portal. We also use the BVAS for the purposes of scanning what we call from EC8A, that is the polling unit level result, into our INEC result being portal. Now, before this scanning, and I think that it is important for us to have this clarity, the law, the Electoral Act 2022, makes it clear that every registered political party, in conjunction with their candidates, have the right to send polling agents to every polling unit in Nigeria. And these polling agents, we call them party agents, so to say. Now, if you look at the number of persons that we are sent to the various polling units, for instance, the PDP as a political party deployed a total of 176,588 polling agents. The Labour Party deployed a total of 134,874 polling agents. The NMPP deployed a total of 176,200, while the APC deployed a total of 176,223. What that means is that most of these political parties had their polling agents at the level of during the election. Now the commission deployed to 176,606 polling units. So the political parties deployed more agents to the polling units than the number of polling units that opened. So what that means is that each political party, wherever it deployed polling agents, got a copy of from EC8A, which is the polling unit result sheet, which is the result sheet that is uploaded into the INEC result being portal. Now, the experts have said within the commission that they had technical glitches. I don't have the capacity and I don't have the expertise to go into the technical issues relating to some of these glitches. What they told us is that they had the technical glitches and they have rectified these technical glitches going forward.
I think the issue here is the confidence building that INEC has done leading up to this election and coming forward to tell Nigerians that you have the capacity to deliver a credible elections, and you have also given an option where citizens can also be part of the process of monitoring results to stop the past experience of people cutting away with ballot boxes and you have said at INEC that those days are over. As long as the IREF portal is available, even before the agents are able to turn in the result that they got from the field, Nigerians have access to these results. Is it a case of that you promise too much and you are under-delivering? Because we saw what happened in Ekiti and Osun, and perhaps, would you say Nigerians are asking too much from INEC that has promised so much?
Our electoral process is designed in such a way that there is a two-way approach to the issue of collection of election results. The first approach is that the moment elections are over at the level of a polling unit, the presiding officer enters the scores of the political parties into from EC8A, which is the polling unit level result. returns a copy, gives a copy to the agents of the political parties that are present, and also gives copies to the security agents that are also available. Now, that particular result sheet, that from EC8A, together with the physical beavers, are taken to the first level of collation, which is the RA collation or the registration area collation. And we have 8,809 registration area collation centers in Nigeria. The same form is what is also snapped or scanned and uploaded into the INEC result being portal. At the level of the collation of results, if there is no challenge, if there's no dispute, if there are no issues with the results which the presiding officer has taken or transmitted to the collation center, there won't be any problem. But if there's a challenge, if there's a dispute, then the collation officer will call in aid the electronically transmitted result and use it to resolve the challenges that have occurred. There is no technology that does not have challenges. Yes, we promise that results will be uploaded in real time to our INEC result being portal, but there were challenges. There were challenges, things happen, and we had already explained to Nigerians that these glitches happen. We didn't anticipate that we are going to have this challenge. And whatever challenges we recorded, we have made very serious efforts to rectify these challenges, so that during the governorship and state assembly elections, we won't record the same challenge going forward.
All right, so are you giving Nigerians the assurance that IRF portal will be alive? Will it be accessible to all citizens, all Nigerians and all voters on the 18th of March?
Yes, we have rectified the challenges we experienced during the presidential and national assembly elections. Look, let me assure you, no national commission of the commission was happy with what has taken place. This is because this commission has been built and wrapped around serving the people of this country. And we had situations where even core members were held hostage in so many of the polling units, and no parent will allow that type of thing to happen, and no parent will be happy that his or her ward has been held hostage at the level of the polling unit on grounds of technical challenges that the commission had. And so we have taken these things on board. We have made the necessary amendments. We have learned the necessary lessons from this, and we have also activated an option B in terms of the way we approach the issue of result upload. But the issue of result upload was not the only challenge we had. We also had challenges in some of the places, in some of our states, polling units did not open on time. And the moment polling units don't open on time, the voters get angry, the voters get agitated, and things begin to happen. And so these are some of the issues we have reviewed with our resident electoral commissioners, and we're also reviewing the issues with them once again tomorrow to make sure that we get our acts together before the 18th of March 2023.
It's not only the taxpayers' money that has been expended on INEC. It's also the trust that Nigerians have also put on the line in this election. Now, let me tell you how bad, if you leave the line of communication closed and if you don't deal with it properly. There are speculations on the social media, and a lot of Nigerians have the right to speculate when they don't have adequate information and knowledge about the issues that are happening. For example, there was, in fact, a newspaper editorial to the effect that there was a director of ICT at INEC, Mr. Chidi Nwafo, Engineer Nwafo, that was posted out of INEC, and there are speculations that it was because of this reason that you started having problems, that it was because of the expertise of this man, who was his role was pivotal in the beavers and the IRF portal. But in August or so last year, it was posted out of that office, and there are questions raised, and the issues, speculations are being raised about the need and the essence of doing that. And the fundamental thing is, why would that kind of thing happen for someone who was behind that kind of initiative?
Let me just say this and say it very clearly. The present leadership of the commission wants to build a professional organization that is not wrapped around one individual. Now, the individual he mentioned is a very good close friend of mine. He is a director in the commission, and every administrative secretary of the commission in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory are directors. And any director can be posted out to go and become an administrative secretary. Now, the time we readjusted the list of administrative secretaries was the time that the commission was slightly panicky on whether we are going to have new resident electoral commissioners. And we were preparing for an election. So the commission decided in its wisdom that we needed to post our best hands to the various states as administrative secretaries to go and prepare the states for the purposes of election. And that was exactly what the commission did. We have a department in charge of ICT, and the GD I know tried to build a department that can exist, that can stand on its own, whether he's there or whether he's not there. And that is the same thing with every department. There are some administrative secretaries that we recall back to the headquarters to come and head some departments, and there are some that we also posted out to go and head the various offices. This commission is not a commission that is built around speculation, and it's not a commission that is built around rumor mongering. It is a commission that is built around performance, and we want our administrative secretaries to perform, and also we want our directors to perform.
So the question, Mr. Okoye, is that, okay.
Just a minute.
All right.
There are some states in the Federation, as of today, that do not have resident electoral commissioners. And it is the administrative secretaries that are conducting elections. We have an administrative secretary in Kaduna State that is running the election. And also in one of the states in the Southwest, an administrative secretary is acting as the resident electoral commissioner. And so administrative secretaries are very powerful within the matrix of the commission. So those speculations have no basis either in law or in fact or in reality.
I'm not sure the case of Chidi, who is also someone I know very well, having interacted with him in the past, may have come up if INEC did not have a problem with the IRF portal and some glitches with the BVAS. Now, the question then will be asked, with the benefit of hindsight, did the commission regret that Chidi was not available at the headquarters to superintend this process? Are you thinking of bringing a Chidi who is now popular amongst a lot of Nigerians who think that he was very much instrumental, his role was instrumental into this technology INEC has brought? Are you thinking of bringing him to help out since you had this problem in the first cycle of election?
This commission we are talking about is a commission that has over 16,000 staff. So are you saying that if a single staff retires from the commission, that the commission will now cease? No. The commission does not operate in that particular direction. When I joined the commission, there were other national commissioners. Some of them have completed their tenure and they have moved on. Very soon I will complete my tenure and I will move on. So if I move on after completing my tenure, anytime there's a challenge in terms of information and voter education, you say, oh, Barrister Okoye was good in information and voter education, go and bring him back. Society does not work that way, and institutions don't work that way. What the commission should be encouraged to do is to build a professional institution that is not wrapped around one single individual.
Mr. Okoye, please stay with me. I have a few more questions to ask you, but we need to take a quick break. And when we come back, there are a few more issues to trash out. Stay with us. We'll be right back, everyone.
Experience the opulence and security of Swiss Trade doors. With over 30 years experience, exclusive with a touch of history and craftsmanship, Swiss Trade doors are made from the finest ancient aga and ivory wood. A range of exclusive armored doors, elegant interior doors, carefully crafted by world-renowned architects and engineers. At Swiss Trade, a door is much more, plus premium quality onyx stones and luxury interiors. Visit Swiss Trade today or call now. Swiss Trade, blend of beauty and security.
All I need to say about the second River Niger Bridge, 21 years ago, as I came onto this throne, it will normally take you 3 to 4 hours to cross the bridge. I mean, if you are going to Lagos, you spent almost half your time on the bridge. And you were stuck on the bridge before you came across from Asaba this morning. Now, could you imagine how the people of Onitsha and Asaba have endured such a situation for over 25, 30 years? This is reality. We cannot overestimate the importance of the second River Niger bridge. To express appreciation to our President, Muhammadu Buhari, for being the vehicle for the execution of this monumental project.
You always stay in my mind. I did me gone. I cherish you with my life. Don't worry yourself, oh. Everything go day alright. And if anybody try you, know it's gonna be on side.
Show strong love to your favorite one this season by gifting a parcel of land through Adron Strong Love promo. Enjoy 40% discount on all our land and spread the balance within 24 months without gift. Or enjoy 30% discount and spread the balance within 36 months with gift items such as love hamper, power bank, electric fan, cake, gas burner, microwave, and lots more. Strong Love promo. My love for you is strong. Terms and conditions apply.
Adron Homes, making the incredible affordable.
As part of the Air Force, to make Nigeria a preferred tourist destination, we use the occasion of the World Tourism Day 2016 to unveil the Eco-Atlantic City to the world as a foremost tourist destination in Africa. The Eco-Atlantic City is one of the world's most advanced cities, situated on a 10 million square meters of land reclaimed from the Atlantic Ocean. The gigantic but visionary project was one of the projects we showcased to the African tourism ministers who visited Nigeria.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Experience the opulence and security of Swiss traders with over 30 years experience, exclusive with a touch of history and craftsmanship. Swiss traders are made from the finest ancient aga and ivory wood, a range of exclusive armored doors, elegant interior doors, carefully crafted by world-renowned architects and engineers. At Swiss Trade, a door is much more, plus premium quality onyx stones and luxury interiors. Visit Swiss Trade today or call now. Swiss Trade, blend of beauty and security.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. Mr. Festus Okoye, he's the INEC National Commissioner on Voter Education and Publicity. He's been speaking with us virtually from Makurdi. Of course, I will try to get some few questions in, but of course, let me let everyone know that I'm since being joined by the National Chairman of the Interparty Advisory Council, IPAC, Engineer Yabaji Sani joins me here in our Abuja studio. Thanks so much, Mr. Sani, for joining us.
Good day.
And of course, Dr. Hussaini Abdo, a political scientist, a scholar, and the chairman of the board of Yaga Africa is also joining us virtually. Let me quickly go back to Mr. Okoye. On some of the issues that have been raised, there are a lot of speculations out there, of course, like you're aware. But you've told us that you have a plan B for should the IREV portal fail. What would that plan B be? What is it?
I didn't say we have a plan B in case of the failure of the IREV portal. We are confident that the portal will not fail. But if we have any challenge whatsoever, relating to the uploading of polling unit level results, the ICT department knows what to do so that we don't have the type of challenge we had uploading polling unit level results during the presidential and National Assembly election.
So why was it, I mean, as of now, how many of those results have been uploaded on the IRF portal? Because at some point, the presidential election results were not being uploaded. What is the status now? What can you tell us?
Well, I'm sure. I've not checked today, and I didn't check yesterday. But as at the last time I checked, over 170 of those results have been uploaded. And as you are aware, we are resetting the beavers or reconfiguring the beavers for purposes of the governorship and state assembly election. And any beavers that was used for the presidential and national assembly election that does not push to the accreditation back end, the data relating to the conduct of the presidential and national assembly election will not be configured. In fact, the beavers will not allow itself to be reconfigured or reset if the entire data is not pushed to the accreditation back end. So I'm sure that by Tuesday, when we hope to complete the resetting of the beavers for the purposes of the governorship and state assembly election, all the results, in all the places where elections were conducted, the results will have been pushed to the accreditation back end. But let me make this very clear. Before the conduct of the election, we made it clear to Nigerians that we are not going to deploy to 240 polling units where there were zero voters. And during the presidential and national assembly elections, there were also some polling units where we didn't deploy to and where elections did not take place. And so it's most unlikely that we are going to receive results from some of those polling units. And so people should not be expecting that we are going to have 176,606 results in the IRF in the IRF portal the moment we complete with resetting of the beavers.
Would you say that INEC was in full compliance with the Electoral Act in terms of what is Section 60, 64, and 65 talked about, the power to review the result, and the Clause 38 of the regulations and the guidelines of INEC within 7 days?
Shehu, I'm a very senior lawyer, and I will not go into an issue that may likely be a subject of contention, a subject of petition before the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, sitting as the Court of Appeal. I have seen the direction some people are going, and the issue of whether INEC is in compliance or whether INEC is not in compliance may become an issue. But as I said, the law gives the Commission the right to determine and make a determination on the mode of transmitting election level results to the first level of collation. And what the law requires of the Commission is to be in substantial compliance with the provisions of the Electoral Act and also with the constitutive legal instruments for the conduct of election. And I'm confident that the Commission substantially comply with all the provisions of the law.
All right. Quickly, Mr. Okoye, on the issue, the position, the decision of the court on those voters who asked INEC to allow them use the temporary voter cards. You said you're going to court to appeal that matter. What is the status? Based on that judgment, it then means what? That people can use their TVC, isn't it?
No, that is not the intent of the judgment. Now, that particular judgment applies to only the two individuals that went to court to obtain that particular judgment. It doesn't appeal to. It doesn't apply to all Nigerians. Now, the truth of the matter is that the Commission has gone to the Court of Appeal to challenge that particular decision because we believe strongly that that particular decision is wrong. The law, as of today, gives the Commission the exclusive and the proprietary rights in the voter's card. Secondly, the Electoral Act 2022 makes it clear that INEC is the only organ, the only agency, and the only commission that has the right to design, to issue and determine what is a permanent voter's card. And we have made that particular determination. Secondly, during the continuous voters registration exercise, the commission did not issue any individual with a temporary voter's card. What we issued those who came forward was a slip indicating the fact that they have applied and that the application is being processed. So that is the position as far as the commission is concerned. But we have taken steps to appeal that particular decision.
All right, I need to bring in some of my other guests into the conversation about those who are not happy that almost 2 weeks after the election, INEC has not been able to successfully upload all the results. There is a plan of Occupy INEC protest that has been threatened by some persons in the country. The Labour Party has said they want to monitor and look at how INEC is uploading backing up the result in your portal. Are you considering allowing them to look at how that is being done? Or is that the final answer from INEC that you won't allow the Labour Party to see that?
In terms of the issue of protest, the commission is a public trust. And as far as the commission is concerned, any Nigerian who has any grievance has the constitutional and legal right to come to the commission to protest. The commission will not prevent any individual or group of individuals or any political party association from coming to protest, because the commission is a public trust and is a public institution, and we cannot prevent anybody from coming to protest. On the issue of a political party saying that he wanted or look into the brain of the beavers, the commission will not allow that to happen. Every political party that deployed polling agents has a copy of the polling unit level results. So if a political party wants to now come into the commission and then wants to look at people's biometrics, we will not allow that to happen, because the law does not look. The commission is a regulator of political parties, and the political parties cannot, just because of some of these challenges that have taken place, turn around and want to regulate the commission. The commission will not allow that to happen.
All right. So give me some minutes, because I mean, some of these political parties are already asking that the INEC chairman should be removed. And they said they don't have confidence any longer in INEC. But just give me a moment. Let me bring Alhaji Yabagi Sani and Dr. Hussaini Abdul into the conversation. You are the leader of IPAC across the country, Alhaji Yabagi Sani. What is your position going forward? I mean, are you of the opinion that all is clear? You heard the explanation from Mr. Festus Okoye tonight.
Well, Sean, Nigeria is our country, and we must do everything possible to ensure that Nigeria remains great, because we're a great country, in terms of all aspects of life, whatever you want to look at. In particular, when it comes to the issue of democracy, Nigeria, like we all know, is the pride of black race. We have to ensure that this process continues to its logical conclusion. It isn't that we are happy, like I said, with what is happening. It's not that we are in support of some of the things that Pastor Okoye is talking about, that they are doing or not doing. But the fact of the matter is that if we do not allow this process to be concluded, we may not have democracy to even talk about. What you may have is something that nobody can fathom out, what shape or form is going to be. Nigeria is too big for that. So that is why, and we believe also that given time, all these things will be sorted out. What I think happened to us is like what happened, I don't know which year now, the Titanic disaster that happened. You can, the amount of, press and what have you that went into the Titanic, which was supposed to be the biggest ship, the largest, ship, and then all of a sudden, on its maiden voyage, it crashed. So that's exactly what happened to INEC. But in the case of Titanic, they were able to tell, you could see that, as they say, it went into, there was a rock that, divided the ship into, and then that's why you had the accident. INEC is here to come out to tell Nigerians, like you are saying, confidence building, trust that was there before, for Nigerians to have that trust back. If INEC had come out and said the system was hacked, this is not the first system that is being hacked in the world. They must sophisticated systems have been hacked in America, in China, in what have you. That is not something that people will say, oh, cannot happen. Perhaps people may ask, why didn't you make redundancy factors into your servers, into your communication links, so that when this one fails, another one seamlessly will take over, and you will not suffer this kind of unnecessary disaster that we are in today. So my growth with INEC is that not coming out to tell us the truth, that this is what happened. If you say somebody hacked into it, it could be hacked. There's no reason. But your conversation with Barrister did not yield anything. That, oh, we know what happened. We've taken measures to ensure it. What happened? We want to know. And how can you have a selective malfunctioning of a system?
As a leader of the political party body,
yes,
are you satisfied with explanation INEC has given and going into yet another round of election?
Well, to the extent that, you see, even before we introduced the technological advancement that we have today, which INEC was telling us, no beavers, no election, and what have you, which is not the case today. We had a system, isn't it? We know that that system is not what we wanted to continue with. But in the face of the situation we are in today, if it has to be that, let us go on. And then when we get to the end of the process, we can now redress secretly.
Are you able to interface with INEC since the presidential election?
Yes, we're able to interface with them.
Did you tell them the home through from your own point of view?
I told them, I said, this system must have been hacked. They say, no, they don't know. We must know. We must know.
What advice did you give INEC? I mean, because if you have a concern, do you think from your own...
Because they should tell Nigerians what exactly happened.
But from your own assessment, do you think INEC is ready for March 18?
Well, like I said, even without beavers, without IRF, we conducted an election, didn't we, in this country? Only that it wasn't what we wanted. We thought this arrangement that INEC has brought into place would now give us something that will meet the minimum requirement as far as international standard is concerned. But if we don't have that, we cannot, stop. This country is too big to be toyed with. What I'm saying is that let's go on. When we get to the end of the road, we will take, then that democracy will be there for us to discuss.
Let me bring in Dr. Hussein Abdul, who's been with us, and it's perhaps is privy to the conversation. Doc, it's good to see you. I know that I've had to sit with you severally in the run-up to the preparations of INEC, the promises that are being made, but you have heard Mr. Okoye tonight, and you probably will remember what I said at one of our meetings, and I said that my biggest fear is whether or not there might be a postponement. It has happened. I hate to be called a prophet. For a third consecutive times, election has had to be postponed. Give me your honest assessment of the process.
Thank you very much, Joe. And I had Festus pushing on some of these issues, and I think there are differences, there are variations in this postponement. And for those of us who have been involved in elections observations, yes, postponement is postponement, but we know that the preview of the last two postponements we had were largely presidential elections. And so once you postpone presidential elections, it's going to affect other layers of elections. And in this particular one, there is a clear reasons why these elections will have to be postponed. I didn't agree with that. I remember even when discussing with my colleagues, particularly when INEC was already in court, trying to see whether they could get the court to review its initial decision to allow for reconfiguration of the beavers. And I knew we were having these conversations as colleagues in Yaga, and I was saying that I wasn't in support of this because I knew that it was going to significantly impact on voters' turnout. And I have several reasons why I think it was going to impact on voters' turnout. But again, INEC has no options rather than to postpone, because they were very clear the number of days INEC needs to actually do the reconfiguration of those numbers of beavers. And so if they don't have those number of days, then we have no option than to postpone this. But around what failed, whether beavers failed or what happened. I have made this very clear on the day of the elections. And I think the biggest gap in INEC is that, look, there was a time lapse in the INEC coming out to even issue the statement on what happened to the IRF. It took more than 24 hours, if I get my timing right. And I knew that from the first day, in the evening of that day, when the results were not getting uploaded on the IRF, some of us were raising these questions and saying, look, it's important for INEC to explain. Because we have interfaced with the INEC all through this period, and we had confidence in what INEC has put in place. The systems, the structures in place that they put in place. Of course, we have concerns around the stress test, whether there have been adequate stress tests on the IRF itself, whether that stress test is enough. The level of tests that have been done is enough to sustain the general elections, because general elections is not Ekiti election, or is it Osun elections. So the stress test, we did raise concerns around it, but otherwise we were on the same page in terms of the capacity to actually deliver on this. But on the election day, and I think this is what sometimes we're not getting right, either the media or in the public commentary, I think the beavers worked. From our report, the beavers worked. In over 98% of our polling unit, barring some glitches here and there which were addressed, or where in some cases you have to replace the beaver, but otherwise, beavers worked. What failed was the IRF. And it's important to actually make this differential. Of course, if the beaver take the photo or did the scanning of the form EC8A, the result sheet, it transmits to the IRF. If the IRF has problem, it will not receive the message. It's like sending an email, and if you have email on the other side, it's not receiving, it cannot receive. So the challenge, the problem we had was IRF. And for us, we were very deeply disappointed because the IRF, because we have also put up a viewing system for Nigerian citizens. I know, Shane, you are very much aware of this, that we thought people can actually have a very excellent interface with our electoral system, and particularly with the promises that INEC made. So I think the explanation didn't come early enough, and when it eventually came after 24 hours, it wasn't categorical. It wasn't speaking to anything. It was just saying,
Dr. Abdul,
there was no clear thing.
Yeah, so Dr. Abdul, my thinking now is that whatever has happened, and INEC is making promises. Now, we have another round of election before us, and this is on the 18th of March. If there's anything you want to say to INEC in preparation for that, because the trust quota and the integrity quota of INEC may have been hit badly by what we saw on the 25th of February. What would your word be for INEC tonight?
I actually think that one, because some of us, and Festus knows this, someone who's been together for more than 30 years or so. Some of us are IT skeptics, so we don't give 100% charge on it, then nothing will happen. I actually think that INEC should have a clear communication lines, and that stimulation should actually be done, and we do that in many serious organizations. If this happens, we'll do this. If this happens, we do this. And if that happens, we act this particular manner, so that you are prepared for any eventuality and know how to react to it. And that's what I want to see happen in the next, in the gubernatorial election. Secondly, let me come up very quickly, that on the IRF, look, it is very important for INEC to get this right. Mistake has happened. We don't know the details. We hope one day part of our commitment is to see what we can do to actually see INEC audit that process eventually at the end of the entire process. Election is a whole gamut of process, and therefore INEC will have to do it so that Nigerians will know one day exactly what happened on the presidential elections, or particularly with the IRF.
Great thought there, Dr. Abdul. Alhaji Abajisani, you and your colleagues at IPAC, the body of the political parties, going into the election of the 18th of March, what are your words for INEC?
Well, my words for INEC is for them to take advantage of this second chance they have to redeem their image, because they have the image that is not too good as it is today. And I think if it's about the technical aspect of the exercise, what INEC needed to do was to, like I said, a redundancy in the communication link. You can have Starlink. It doesn't cost too much. In the remotest part of this country, you can have that's your link to the satellite, which can transmit the figures for you. Issue of the RF, the server you are using, you can have redundancy server too. You can have so it beats my imagination that they said they were just relying on one system, no backup, no redundancy. In such a very high level, high stake, environment. So
are you guys able to give INEC a benefit of the doubt going forward?
Well, yes, we give the benefit of the doubt because, like I said, it's worse than not to continue. It's worse than whatever INEC is going to do. I am not in any way saying what we had presidential should happen because in the presidential, Sean, it was a selective failure. The transmission, as far as the Senate and the House of Reps concerned, was going on, smoothly. Why was the presidential that was not going on smoothly? Something is wrong there. Something fishy is there. We must get to the root of what happened. So what I'm saying is that, which means INEC has capacity and capability to ensure that this election we are going into now works out, properly without failure.
Let's get and wrap up with Mr. Okoye on the issue that you have raised. Let's get INEC. But first and foremost, several Nigerians, and a lot of them who are commenting and sending messages, are saying, is it possible that INEC can publicly, as you are here, apologize to Nigerians? A lot of people who are angry at the commission, not only the monies that have been committed into this process, but also the trust. For some people, the trust is even bigger than money. Is it possible that INEC officially tonight apologized to millions of Nigerians that may have been disappointed?
SOCO is not the Independent National Electoral Commission. The Independent National Electoral Commission is made up of a chairman and 12 national commissioners. And we also have 36 resident electoral commissioners and the resident electoral commissioner for the Federal Capital Territory. So the issue of apology or no apology doesn't really arise. The commission has made it very clear that we are not happy with what happened with the result upload during the February 25th presidential and national assembly election, and that we as a responsible organization, we have taken steps to rectify some of the challenges we had, and also to make sure that going into the March 18th, 2023 governorship and state assembly elections, that such issues do not reoccur. But let me make this very clear. The conduct of election is a multi-stakeholder venture. Yes, the commission is at the receiving end now, but the political parties have also have their own role to play in making sure that we have a good electoral process. It is some of the political parties and some of their candidates that make the atmosphere at the level of the polling units inaccessible, make the atmosphere in such a way that the voters cannot really have a very good voting experience on election day. And so we need to also talk to the political parties, talk to their agents, and also make sure that they also abide by the code of conduct and the peace accords that they have signed, so that Nigerians can go to the polling units on election day without any good challenge, so that our officials can deploy without fear and without any harm befalling them. So the political parties are not spending all roses, but as an electoral management body, we will keep on improving with every election. And when we make mistakes, we have the honor, we have the integrity, and also we have the presence of mind to acknowledge the fact that we have made mistakes and that we are going to improve with every election.
All right. Some of the words that have done magic in the past is thank you, I'm sorry. Maybe at some point when INEC finds that at a good time to say, maybe Nigerians may be able to accept it. But thank you so much indeed, Mr. Festus Okoye, the National Commissioner of INEC, for talking to us. And Alhaji Abachisani, thank you so much indeed for your time. Dr. Hussein Abdul, who has been speaking also with us tonight, thank you indeed, Doc, for your time. Well, that's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm sure Kimale, I'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Hello and welcome to Elections 101 in 5, brought to you by Yaga Africa and supported by the UNDP. Elections 101 in 5. What are the steps for setting up the polling units on election day? That's our focus for today. We're asked on the streets. Here are the responses that we got.
We believe that the INEC is supposed to do a lot of sensitization to people so that we get to know what are these things, so we can actually know when some of these things are right and wrong.
The electoral officers will come around, they're being accompanied by security officials, then they will have to wait for the people. But in our case, the people get to the polling unit before the INEC official.
Lovely responses there. There are guidelines that clearly outline the steps for setting up a polling unit on election day. And the presiding officer, in other words, the INEC officials at the polling unit, will need to comply with these steps to make the process transparent, devoid of any suspicion or questions before, during, and after the polls. So what are these steps? The first step, the presiding officer and his team are expected to remove all campaign materials, if any, from the polling unit, because on election day, the attention will be on the voter, not the parties or their candidates. Step 2, the presiding officer and his team shall set up the voting cubicle in such a way that the voter can mark his or her ballot in a secure manner where their votes will not be exposed. And step 3, the presiding officer shall place the ballot box not more than 2 meters away from the voting cubicle in the direction of the presiding officer and away from polling agents so they don't interfere or see how voters are casting their ballots. And so by 8 a.m., the presiding officer of a polling unit is expected to introduce him or herself. Now, the polling officials will not only introduce themselves, but polling agents, and in other words, party agents and accredited observers must be present at the polling unit in the morning to cross-check if all the materials required for the election in that polling unit are present. The next step is that the presiding officer shall invite the party agents as well as the accredited observers in that polling unit to observe the election materials that will be used for elections in that polling unit. At this point, observers and party agents can take pictures as well as video recording of the process, provided it doesn't disrupt the timely opening of polls. After that, the presiding officer is required by the guidelines to record the quantity, serial number, and other particulars of the sensitive materials and record them in the forms provided by INEC to that polling unit. And sensitive materials in this case are beavers, ballot papers, and result sheets. So between 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. on election day, the presiding officer will open and display the empty ballot box and the beavers to everyone who is present at the polling unit. It will be closed and then it will be sealed in a manner prescribed by INEC. Usually they use seals and those seals have numbers. So party agents are required to take numbers of those seals before they are used, to seal the ballot boxes. So these are the steps for the setup of polling units on election day. That's Elections 101 in 5. Now you know the steps required for setting up a polling unit on election day. This is one information you require to ensure that you make your votes count on election day. You can watch previous episodes of Election 101 in 5 on our YouTube channel, Yaga Africa TV. You can also contact us using the social media handles displayed on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Samson Itodo. Remember, your vote can make a difference. Please vote wisely.
Naija, good times are here. Enjoy great internet at a pocket-friendly price with FlowZap. FlowZap is now in Naija. FlowZap is an internet solution company with innovative, cost-effective, unlimited broadband that's fast and reliable. FlowZap is truly unlimited and can connect up to 50 users at a go with no worries. It also supports wired and Wi-Fi connections. FlowZap is safe and secure with unlimited data usage. It is portable, very easy to set up, and the best part, it's a flat rate every month for just a little fee. And you don't even need a SIM card to connect. To enjoy fast and truly unlimited internet, call FlowZap now on 0807-019-9967. Visit www.flowzap.net for more info. FlowZap, your innovative, cost-effective, unlimited broadband.
Hello and welcome to a new edition of Echo Africa. Water is a key resource. Without clean drinking water, we cannot survive. That's one of the topics coming up on the show.